put together a proposal. They say that the college will be providing this, and the company will be providing this, and we are applying for this much funding. And it's a competition. If they win, then you get the funding and you get the subsidy.
So the industrial work together with the college to create a proposal,
yes,
submit to the government.
And the companies then mostly, like Marty said, they offer in-kind contributions, so some of their staffing works on this, right? So it's not
necessarily.
The bottom line of all of this is learn to cooperate together. The academic world has traditionally lived a bit apart from, and that doesn't fit in our society anymore, and will even fit less tomorrow. So the bottom line and message of all of this is find ways in your local circumstances, in your national circumstances, in your regional circumstances. Please remember that Asia Pacific is the largest consumer markets in the world now. You guys are not a poor part of the world. You have more spending power than we have in North America or all of Europe combined. You're not a poor area. So it is just a different way of working, and it's about cooperating. It's not about feeling better than industry because we're academics, or the industry feeling better because they make the money. We cannot live without each other anymore, right? That's the bottom line.
Yes, one final one, and we'll end on regular questions. Final one, promise. I have no more. Sorry, microphone.
I haven't heard about topic about gender equality. So is there any problem about gender equality? I mean, some industries, they choose the sex of students when the student apply for internship, or when they graduate, then some industries only accept specific gender for a specific job. Is there any that kind of problem in your country or not?
So let me give a first answer, and then I'm sure both Marty and Nefsat could contribute to it. Right now, we have a very interesting prime minister in Canada. His father was a prime minister in earlier days, and I think he tried not to become a politician, but there was no escaping for him. So poor Justin had to become a politician and became the prime minister. What he did was quite exceptional in today's world. He made a cabinet of 50% men, 50% women. He has the first 2 or 3, I think it's 2 cabinet members who are First Nations, never done before. He has the first few who are very new Canadians. They're new immigrants, never done before. He's breaking a lot of taboos. Is he the best prime minister? The judge is out there, it's only in his 2nd year, and he makes plenty of mistakes like any prime minister or president does. But he made a really big statement there, right? Now, in that setting, you see that ripple effect going through the Canadian society, because nowhere do we deal with the gender issue perfectly, nowhere. But we have a long, hundreds of years of history, and there are also some regressive movements sometimes to try to push things back. So in that context, employers, I think, try to do their best to be reasonable and fair. There are people in the US where there was a lot of racial problems that said, I don't want to get the job just because of the skin of the color of my skin. I want it because of quality. I think the same among women professionally. I want the job because they feel they're the best for it, not because they're a woman. So there's many complexities to the gender issue, but it's an incredible topic, not only in Canada, but everywhere in the world. And I'm glad you bring up the question, because there shouldn't be a meeting where we not talk about it and reflect on it. So thank you for asking this.
Great.
Oh, I can't.
A few more minutes.
I am in favor of arbitrary guidelines. So I was really impressed by Justin Trudeau's designation of 50-50 for something as high as carbon level we've seen a lot of jobs evolve where there's an evolution of more girls, women going into them. The industry changes when women come in, there's no doubt. The leading edge industry leaders understand that and they encourage more. But for some, it's a pretty cold climate for women in areas you wouldn't necessarily think. Some areas of health are pretty cool for women. I think of ambulance drivers, the paramedics. Don't have a lot of women yet. Some of it's regulatory, where you've got a requirement for physical training, physical ability that most women can't meet. You know, can you lift this 300-pound guy and get him on a gurney or something with one person? Well, there aren't too many women who can do that. So regulations have to adjust in order to, you have to make adjustments, you have to see the value. See the value of having all professions with a reasonable gender balance.
But the short answer is yes.
Yeah.
There's gender issues everywhere in the world, as in Canada. I'm sure there's gender issues here.
I'd like to add one remark. I have a friend from my university, and he has a son that went to one of the universities in Groningen at the med school. There are 100 new students, 90 are female. So the world is changing, whether men like it or not. The girls, on average, in schools do a lot better now than boys on math and science. That was never the past. So I echo Nafzat's short answer. Yes, we need to, and we need to keep working on it. So thanks again for asking the question, because it was the missing element today. Thank you.